What's going on, guys? Welcome back, and today I'm going to be showing you my custom Lego Ronin from Avengers Endgame. Now, if you didn't know, Ronin is Hawkeye's identity when he goes rogue in the comic books after his family dies, and he goes rogue. And in Avengers Endgame, obviously in Infinity War, the snap happened, and his family is pretty much, I'm going to say, confirmed dead. They show him playing archery, or showing his daughter how to do archery, and then I think it's gonna happen. It's gonna be painful to watch, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen. But, so I'm gonna be showing you my custom Ronin today. Now, this figure is really hard to design because in the trailers, we have seen him, but we've only seen, like, his back and, like, some of his hood and some parts of him, so we haven't really seen the front, to a very, like, large degree. So, for the face, or for the hairpiece, I got a Marty McFly hairpiece, and he obviously has, like, the same sort of spiky hair he usually has, but he's got, like, a mohawk now, because there's a whole bunch of memes and jokes going on around, like, right now about how Hawkeye's barber got snapped halfway through cutting his hair. Hawkeye. There's, like, a whole bunch of jokes going on about that. But I actually got this Marty McFly hair, and don't do this at home, guys. This is not advisable. If you're younger, don't do this without supervision or um, the unless you're allowed to use these type of tools. But I'm a scout, like an actual an actual scout, like, you know, like Boy Scouts. Like, I'm an actual scout, and I'm allowed to use a pocket knife. I need a permit for it, obviously. So I need a permit to use it, but I have a pocket knife, and that's the best tool to use for this. I got that, and then I just shaved off the side of the hairpiece on each side, so it looked like his sort of like his mohawk that he has in Avengers Endgame. So that's how I made the hair. The face is from um, the Age of Ultron Hawkeye, and the good thing is, even though I shaved the hair, it still covers up the back face with the goggles, but this is still the best face for Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. Um, but last year, for my custom one, I did use the Han Solo face, the young Han Solo face from the Solo Star Wars story sets, and I still stand by that if you don't have the Age of Ultron Jeremy Renner face, that is the best face for him. Because, like, the face that they used for the face they used for the Civil War sets was the same as Captain America, and it didn't really look like him at all. So if you don't, this is not a purist figure, by the way. There's a lot of parts, just like the hairpiece, that aren't purist. But if you want to go for a face that's just as good, or, like, not as good, but, like, still passable, use the Han Solo face. I think it looks like Jeremy Renner, guys. If you know my channel, and if you're a Lego fan, obviously a lot of you are fans of Just Too Good. Like, that face there, that looks like Jeremy Renner to me. So, like, that's the one time where I just can't side with Just Too Good. Like, I usually agree with him a lot, but on that, I don't agree with him. I don't think it looks bad at all. But I still love Just Too Good. Torso. So, the torso is from Cole from Ninjago from 2012, the ZX version from Season 1. And what I did was I got that torso, and there's a whole bunch of little, like, gray lines that are on that torso, just for, like, just patches of his clothing, or just parts of his clothes where there's, like, wrinkles and, like, creases. So what I did was I got, the way I paint small lines on my minifigures is I use, thumbtacks, and then put paint on them. So I got some gold paint on a thumbtack, and covered all of those gray areas with gold, so it looked like his whole torso design was gold. And he has, like, this sort of, like, armor, not really armor, but, like, this part, he has this, like, main ninja sort of looking outfit, but then he has, like, another outfit that's kind of goes over top, drapes over top, and that's where those dark tan and gray areas come into place, or come into play, like those there. Like, that looks like his outfit to me. But there are a few nitpicks, like, you see the sort of strap design on the back, but Cole's logo's there. So what I got is I got a black Sharpie and covered the Cole, like, the Earth, Master of Earth logo with black, with a black Sharpie. And also there's a little bit of white at the top of the torso there where the neck would be. I covered that with black as well, with a black Sharpie, just to make it look more complete and black, and like he's wearing a full-on, you know, ninja uniform. The legs are from like all of those Spinjitzu spinner sets from early last year. Like they came in all of them. They're super common. They just work the best. Like he has sort of a robe-looking thing, and it's just the best sort of design for his legs so far from what we've seen in the film. Um, but for the sword. Next up, we're gonna talk about the sword here. The sword that I made for him. Sorry about that. I'm just starting my music again in the background. But for the sword, I got a silver katana, and once again, don't use this unless you're permitted to, because as a scout, I'm only allowed to use my knife if I have my permit, and I have a permit, but if you're younger, you need supervision if you're doing this. This is not safe. Don't do this at home. But I got my pocket knife again, and I poked holes in the sword, because for the one shot we see of him, like, sharpening the sword on his arm, or, like, wiping the blood off the sword on his arm, you see a ton of, like, these little, like, gaps, or, like, hollow parts on the sword, which I just poked with the pocket knife, and as you can see, all of those are, like, little bumps on the sword there. They add bumps, but I think that actually works for me. So that's how I designed the sword. And then on the arms, he has, like, these sort of gauntlet-looking things, which look like what he uses to sharpen it, possibly. But they have, like, sort of a gold design, so I just painted that onto black arms on either side. Painted that gauntlet design onto his arms on either side. Another detail. And then last up, we're going to talk about the hood that I made for him. So I got a plain black hood, and just painted the gold designs onto it, so we only see his hood from the back in the first trailer, and then he pulls it off, so we don't see what the front is, but in the comic books, he has, like, a mask on underneath there with, like, white eyes showing, but there's not really any pieces, unless you want to use, like, the Mighty Micro's Magneto head, but other than that, there's not a lot of purist Lego pieces we can use for that, and I don't care enough to make a custom-painted head, so I'm just gonna put his regular head under there. But I painted a gold rim around the front of the hood, because that's what it looks like, because he's got like a Japanese-style looking thing there. So I just painted the gold around the rim of the hood, which it does show on it from what we've seen of the hood. And then you see like a line going up his hood. So this is just me putting together what I could gather from what I think the design will be from the one trailer. So I just added a gold stripe on either side going up, and then you see these sort of like lines, so I just added those lines down on either side of the stripe across the top. Just the closest design that I could like try and piece together. So once again, guys, this figure was very hard to design because like there's not a lot of art, or like not a lot of images we have of Hawkeye, because they're only showing the first 10 to 15 minutes. I'm sure he'll only wear this when Black Widow goes to find him in Japan, and then he'll be like, my flashback, my family died. Not to make fun of him, because I'm sure that's very sad, and it will be a very sad scene in the film. But, yeah. So, that's pretty much it on how I designed the Ronin figure from Avengers Endgame. I just wanted to do this one, so obviously it's not purist, but that's how you can make him if you want to. But yeah, that's how I designed. There's purist parts, like the head stays the same, and the legs, but there are parts that aren't, like the sword, the arms, and the little details I added to the Cole torso. But I like this a lot. I like this design a lot. It was hard to put together because we don't really know what his design will be in the film, and I didn't look at any comic book imagery because they always change the design a little bit from the comic books. But yeah, that's how I designed my Ronin from Avengers Endgame. Now to talk about future videos, I'm just gonna give you a quick little like look into the future. So if all you wanted to watch here was like the Hawkeye figure, you can click off now, but just I wanted to tell you that I was gonna, for the release of Endgame, I was gonna do a Lego stop motion of that shot from the first Avengers film when they're all standing together in the big circle and the camera pans around them. I was gonna do that as like it coming full circle, you know, but like that shot was way too hard to do, and I'm like, oh, do I want to do the second Endgame trailer? I don't want to. I want to focus on my series right now, the Ninjago and Endgame series currently. I want to focus on that more than making trailers. So that's, like, you'll see the occasional review and, like, minifigure review and little, like, once the Endgame sets come out, maybe some set reviews on those. But just be expecting some videos speckled in, but I'm mainly focusing on the series right now, so that's why there's going to be large gaps between videos and not too many videos over the next little while. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think of my custom Ronin from Avengers Endgame in the comments, and what you thought of the video as well. And I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye.